Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly pick-a-card tarot readings for the week of August 29th. If we haven't met, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. If that's something you're into, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you're always up to date on the advice that the cards have for you. I'll be doing 5-card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Universal Rider-Waite-Smith with Obsidian, the Tarot de Marseille with Lapis Lazuli, and the Classic Rider-Waite-Smith with Dangling Jade. We also have 4 different oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's fine if you're drawn to more than one. You might need a combination of messages. And of course, you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump to your reading, the timestamps are in the description below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. All right, group 1, let's see what we have for you for this week. Deck's a little sticky, but let's not let that bother us. Speaking of not letting things get to us, we have the King of Cups despite the 7 of Wands here. Let's just throw down the whole thing and see what we have. Ooh, with the Hermit and the King of Wands at the bottom of your deck. So the way in which this is making the most sense is to read both of these court cards as aspects of yourself. I think the feeling that I'm getting is a feeling of stepping into your own power, which I'm getting from the 2 kings here and the Hermit card in the middle of your cross. So for you, group 1, I would take this as a reminder that stepping into your power is a process, and it's a process that happens through a gradual improvement, which I'm referring to the 8 of Coins here, and also to not be afraid to set yourself free from the things that you falsely thought were keeping you prisoner before, so to speak. So I think given the rest of this reading here, I'm seeing this, the aspect of the 7 of Wands that's coming through to me the most here is the concept of having the high ground. I have the high ground, Anakin. Yeah, I get it. But jokes aside, I feel like it's almost as if any disagreements that people might have for you for this week in particular might seem minor, and I would not be afraid of just speaking your truth to these people. I think that through the emotional mastery that comes with being at the top of the mountain and following your own light, there comes a time where you can understand that despite the fact that you're not perfect and the fact that you might not have completely mastered everything with a capital M, you know more than enough to really step into your power and speak your own truth and to not be afraid to do that. This is a really good looking reading. Every single card is upright. And you have 2 kings here, which again, the way in which this makes the most sense is to see this as 2 aspects of yourself. So really, especially this week, group 1, any feelings that you have of being constrained, just know that you have everything within reach to step forth from that. There's one thing that I will point out as well. This is a side effect of doing tarot readings on TikTok. If you are into angel numbers and you believe in that stuff, you might want to look up 88 because you have 2 8s here. I don't do that shit. I frankly think it's tacky, but I wanted to point that out. So on that note, I will invite you, group 1, to use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your oracle card reading. I will see you there. All right, group 2, let's see what we have for you for this week. As is customary, I'm going to throw down all 5 cards. I'm going to stare at them in silence and see, ooh, there's a lot of coins here. Let's see. Is that framed well for you? Of course it is. All right, just give me a second. This is looking like a pretty straightforward reading for you, Group 2. First of all, don't be scared by the tower here. I'm seeing this given, you know what, I'll circle back to how I'm interpreting the tower a bit later. So one thing is for sure, with the exception of the tower card and the Three of Wands at the bottom of your deck, every card in your reading is a coins card. So you know, this is looking more like finances, money, career, work, that kind of thing for you. And the overall message in this reading for you is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one, which I'm seeing from the 10 of coins and the Ace of coins here, and the King of coins at the top of the cross here. So the reason I was telling you not to be worried about the tower here, first of all, the associations that we have with the tower came later, but the real important thing that I want to get across, I'm reading this as you being the one to bring the change through the lessons that have been reached to through the completion here, and to begin the new cycle. It might involve making major changes in how things advance from here. And I would encourage you to tap into your creativity and to really not be afraid to rely on the agency that you have accumulated this far. I would anticipate whatever changes that you seek to bring about to start this new cycle might rustle some feathers, which I'm getting from the tower here, but I don't see this as being your problem. Like the flames are literally coming from the king at the top of the cross here. So all in all, you know, you got to keep moving forward, and it's okay to use the lessons of the previous accomplishments as foundation to build towards the next thing. And don't be afraid to rustle some feathers, but it is important to be creative. I mean, yes, this is a king, but I would, just as a final warning, I would invite you to try to be a benevolent, loving king and not the tyrant king, although I do see major change coming to others through you for this week. So yeah, don't be afraid to bring the fire, but just do so with compassion is what I'm saying. So that's it for your reading, Group 2. It was a quickie, and I invite you to use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. Group 3, I gotta say, the first two readings were lightning fast, as you can probably tell by your timestamp. Let's see if yours is as straightforward as the other two. So we start with the two reversed cards, the Ace and the Justice card. And I say this, what leapt out to me immediately, you know how I say how there are three swords in the deck that are upright, and you have two of them right here in the Ace and the Justice card. Let's see what the other... Ooh, is this an entirely reversed reading so far? Oh, well, this is... interesting. Don't panic, Group 3, all right? Let me just frame this for you. Yeah, this... All right, let me stare at this and see what I can stitch together. Before I proceed with your reading, Group 3, I just want to point out the way in which this reading makes the most sense is to interpret this as one giant reversal. So instead of looking at each card being reversed, it's really like one giant reversed reading, which would put the Justice card at the top, the Ace of Swords at the bottom, etc., etc. So from that, I will lead into the overall message for you, Group 3, which is you're making things harder on yourself than you need to be through holding on to something that has passed its due. The message of the Ten of Swords in general, which is a very dramatic card, is that it's a message of bringing something to completion which sets you up for the next thing. And it's funny to see the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Swords in this reading. I realized this just now. But one thing is for sure, I think that there's a real opportunity for you this week, which you might see as a hassle and something that is shitty that you're kind of forced to deal with, that you see this as a chore. And the reason that you're seeing this opportunity as a chore is because you're holding on to some other thing that used to be good, and maybe it's brought you to this point. But I would invite you to really see the opportunity as something to move forward from the old shit that I don't even want to say no longer serving you. What I will say is what is not serving you is holding on to it as if it is necessary to capitalize on this ace here. So I think that whatever you're holding on tightly to, it might still be useful for you, just not right now. And the more strongly and fiercely you hold on to it, the harder you're making things for yourself. This is definitely a call to a situation that feels unfair, but that actually is. What brought you here will not get you there, and I think that you have done the necessary preparation to capitalize on this opportunity. So if you can see it as a way to really cast down the old way of doing things, and to really let go, and to see this as a clean slate with which you can build on to, capitalize on this opportunity. I keep saying this phrase, but the Ace of Swords here is pretty important in this reading, I feel. So yeah, just remember that you already have what you need. It's time to move forward. Like it's fine to use the lessons of the past to move forward in this new thing. However, to look at whatever it is that you're holding on to as the way to do it is playing against you this week. And I think you will feel how if you just let go and accept that there's a new way to do things, that with the experiences that you bring to the table coming into this week, that you can just fly through. Because one of the messages of the Nine of Wands is that the universe doesn't throw anything at you that you're not capable of dealing with. So just keep that in mind. And I understand how it feels dramatic, but you're in your own way. And I would invite you to step out of your own way and just, do what needs to be done in the new way. And you'll be surprised the extent to which you can do it, like elegantly and eloquently and all that great stuff. So that's pretty straightforward. So I will invite you to stay tuned for your Oracle card reading, which is coming up right now. All right, let's get this. This should be lined up fairly well. Great. All right, so Group A, your card is Determination. What a great omen. It is so yellow on white. I'm not sure the extent to which you can see this card, but this is a pretty clear invitation to focus, to set your sights on something and to go after it and to not be afraid. There are a couple readings with which that is pretty self-evident. I will explicitly call out Group 3A. I think what you're being invited to set your sights on is the new way of doing things and to really commit to doing it that way. But no matter which group you are, just set your sights on something and go for it daringly and boldly. Group B, your card is Last Quarter Moon in Aries. Whoops. Last Quarter Moon in Aries. The phrase is work through your feelings. Well, that's pretty straightforward. So the thing is, sometimes our emotions, there's a time to pay attention to our feelings, and there's a time to acknowledge what our feelings are as we set them aside to do what needs to be done. And I would say that for you, Group B, it's time to not let your feelings distract you from what needs doing. Oh, it could also be to work through your feelings. It could be an invitation to process what you are, to process what needs processing in order to move forward. That could be another way to interpret the phrase work through your feelings. Let me just do some quick astrological arithmetic here. Yeah, so if the last quarter moon is in Aries, that means the sun is in Cancer, which means to not be afraid, like to stand true to your feelings, but not let them get in the way of moving forward with what you need to do. So yeah, really any way you interpret this phrase, it holds. Group C with the archetype cards, your archetype is angel. Let me read the light and the dark attributes. So the light attribute is helping those in need with no expectation of return. The shadow attribute is acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. So really, take that how it resonates. What I will say is it's important to be in service of others. I think the warning here is the shadow attribute is part of why I like this deck so much and why I was intrigued to get it. But just remember to be in service of others. Yeah, I'd rather not elaborate too much on that. You got this, Group C. Group D with the Sacred Geometry activations. By the way, this is the Moonology Manifestation deck. Anyway, Group D, your card is Integration. Let me just show that for you. And the text under it reads, the frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. That almost feels like a mic drop on its own, but I want to elaborate a bit. So I think this is an invitation to dance with whatever forces and events that this week throws at you, and to remind, to invite. It's an invitation to see the hidden blessing that is hidden within every perceived curse, everything that might be perceived as an obstacle. Yeah, just really be. I'm encouraging you, in particular, Group D, to really look for the hidden blessing in everything that could be perceived as an obstacle or a hindrance or a shitty thing in general. So on that note, I will thank you very much for watching. If your reading resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And on that note, I hope you have a great week. You take care. I will see you soon.